I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive. Here's the report.
Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and today I'm back with another episode of my F1 2017 Career Mode series. Today we're starting it a little bit different, starting off with the R&D event instead of the table like I normally do, just for a little change of pace I suppose. And in this episode we are going to be at Canada, as you can see there on the right on this development comparison. So we will be going to practice in a moment, and I will show you some of the acclimatization here as we go through the bus stop chicane. This was a wet session for practice, so here we have a look at the start of our acclimatization lap, breaking into the first corner, getting it pretty well done actually. But anyway, this is how I finished a practice session. I didn't finish the qualifying pace program unfortunately, but all the others I was able to do, and it did dry up in the end, so I was able to get some ultra softs on, some dry tyres, some DRS as well was enabled at one point. So testing everything. Before I went to qualifying I did check that all the parts were in a good condition, and they were in a good condition. So let's go to qualifying, which was in the wet here as we start our lap. How are we going to do through the first corner? We did it okay in the track acclimatization, going a little bit offline there, but not too much really, and breaking down into second gear because it's wet. This fourth mix is going to be very difficult in the wet with some wheel spin, but I do need to keep it on because there are a lot of straights as we come into the final bus stop chicane at the end of the lap. We are currently in P6 in qualifying now, so we have stayed within the top 10, doing much better than I did in Monaco last time, and we had crossed the line, I believe, P6. Yes, P6, that is really good. I'm very happy with that lap. Hoping for some good things in the race. Here you can see my resource points after qualifying. So we have 794, that's pretty decent if I do say so myself. Rivalry update, I've beaten my teammate in the rivalry, so hopefully I will get a new rival sometime soon. My standing is going back up because I've had a good performance. Now let's see what upgrades we can make before the race. View R&D tree. I'm going to go for some more reliability. I'm not sure what I'm going to go for at the moment. I'm just going to have a look at what I haven't done. I think I might do the MGU-H wear though, because that was wearing out quite quick. So I'm going to develop that one, and we can have that upgrade. So let's go to the race.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, and a Haas.
You've done incredibly well. You're in line to become the lead driver.
Well, that's some good news from our engineer, in line to become the lead driver. I did decide to put a little bit of extra fuel on for the race, but here we go to 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go here in Canada. I get a good start to overtake Ricciardo off the line. You can see that one of the Red Bulls fighting back. I squeeze him to the inside a little bit northerly, and then Kimi comes around my outside, and I have to get sandwiched between the two. But it's okay, no damage has been done, and I have moved up a place into 5th ahead of the 2 Red Bulls, and I am trying to attack Kimi Raikkonen into this chicane here, but he stays ahead, and I'm just going to try and stick with him, see how the pace is over this first lap, see where I am, if it was just a off the line thing with the Red Bulls, or if they are faster than me and if they can overtake me. So let's see how it is up to the first of the DRS straights and the pit straight, although we won't have DRS with it being lap 1, although they will be, well, they're not really that as close as I would have expected them to be for an overtake. We'll see what happens into this hairpin and the braking zone. I'm not quite close enough, I don't think, to Kimi Raikkonen. Despite closing up into the braking zone, I go a little bit wide on the exit there, and we go on to the long back straight leading up to the Wall of Champions chicane, the final chicane of the track. Here on lap 1, you can see Vettel in the lead with the 2 Mercedes in a Ferrari sandwich, with Kimi Raikkonen in 4th, me 5th, and then the 2 Red Bulls in 5th and 6th. And you might notice on some of the cars that the names have been added to the game, so that is a good addition to see, although my driver abbreviation is not on the car, so I don't know if Codemasters are working on that, having a customized name on the car, because I did do an online lobby where my number was on the side of the Ferrari, but Obviously my abbreviation isn't on the side of the car for some reason, I don't know why, but that would be nice to see in the future. But anyway, back on to the topic at hand, this race, and we are in P5 on lap 2 in this race, so everything is going well in these early stages. And now on lap 3 here, coming on to lap 4, we have yellow flags here in sector 1 on the pit straight. I wonder what has happened. Oh dear, Sebastian Vettel is out of the race. What's happened there? Let's have a look at the replay and see what happened to him. So he's going along the pit straight here. You can see the yellow flags on now on the straight. He's going slowly. You can see the Mercedes coming up, and there's no like puff of smoke or anything. He just goes off. I have no idea what happened there, what kind of failure that was. Maybe gearbox, could be, I don't know. They didn't take the car into the box, so I don't know what kind of retirement that must be. But anyway, that has gifted me P4 in this race, so we are climbing our way up towards the podium now, although Ricciardo is very close behind, so we'll have to see what happens there. I don't know what lap he'll be pitting on, but I plan to pit on lap 8 and do a one stop going on to the super soft tyres, because the tyre wear in Canada generally in the previous game was very good, so I'm going to assume it was similar in this game, since the tyre wear in real season has been very good, with all the races pretty much being a one stop race. So now on lap 8 we have moved up a position because Bottas pitted in front of us, and we now have Perez very close behind, so Ricciardo has pitted as well, so hopefully we can come out ahead of at least Ricciardo, if not Bottas, because we have stayed out longer on the faster ultra soft tyres. Although with Perez catching up, that might be a bad thing for us, might mean that I've been driving slowly. Either way, we are in the pits now, so we will be changing on to the super soft compound tyres here in the race. Who's going to go past us? Anyone? Not quite at the moment. Oh, there we go. There's, I believe that's Ocon going past, so I would assume he needs to pit at some point. Here we go, onto the super soft tyres, and we are just about out ahead of Sergio Perez, so I have kept my position ahead of him. Won't have to battle him for position here. There goes Williams, I believe, is Stroll, and there is Daniel Ricciardo, so let's see where we come out. Perez is going to battle with Stroll there behind us, and I am ahead of both him and quite a distance ahead of Ricciardo, so I don't know where I will be in regards to Bottas, but I am out in P6 with Magnussen, my teammate, ahead of me. He'll need to pit at some point in this race, and I presume Ocon is up there with him, so I guess we're in P4 behind Bottas maybe. We'll see what happens when we get to the pit lane though. So as we exit the final chicane, you can see a couple of cars in the pits, so that might mean that I come out in P4. And there you can see the proximity arrow showing that Perez is very close to me on his super soft tyres. Yes, we are in P4. Raikkonen is ahead on his ultra soft tyres in P3, and I presume the two Mercedes are ahead of him. So we are doing quite well in this race. P4, just outside the podium positions, and just ahead of Sergio Perez here on lap 10. However, we cut to lap 11, just over one lap later, and Perez is right behind me in this DRS detection point. You can see the proximity arrows going red. I'm going to defend the inside line. You can see the front right of his wing there come right up beside me into view of my camera looking forward. Ricciardo is right behind him as well, and they are going to get DRS, so I'm going to put it up into rich mix. How's the proximity arrow doing? It's not too close, although it is getting more opaque, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but I am defending, and we go through the final chicane, and there's another car in the pits. I wonder who that could be. Don't tell me that's Bottas. No, it's Raikkonen. Raikkonen, we've overtaken Kimi Raikkonen here for P3. What? I'm on a podium position. Right, I really want to defend to Perez now that I'm on a podium position. This is just amazing. I really didn't expect for this to happen. It looks like we are pulling out a little bit more of a gap now on Perez, so we'll see what happens next time round on the pit straight. So here we go round the hairpin, and it does look like Perez is further away. He's not quite close enough to attack at me this time through the hairpin, and the proximity arrow is fading here on the straight, although he will get DRS from about now. So he might close up a bit on the run up to the final chicane, and it looks like he is closing up a bit. I'm going to defend the racing line through the final chicane, and we have defended our position quite well there, although we do have to defend again to DRS. So I'm going to stick on the racing line again, go round the outside, and through the first corner. We have defended our position successfully, but there are 5 more laps of this to go until the end of the race. And once again here on lap 13 you can see Perez is very close behind, and also Ricciardo is following him. So hopefully he'll have to defend to Ricciardo, but it is very close. I defend the inside line. Perez comes right round my outside but can't quite get the move done, and he's forced to go a little bit wide. I decide to put it up into rich mix along this straight and go for the inside line here on the back straight leading up to the final chicane on lap 13. And Perez is going to try and get a move, get a sneaky look, but he's not quite close enough. Ricciardo goes into the pits once again, so that seems very strange from him. And at this stage in the race I would have thought he'd do a one stop like me, but no, and Perez is right up beside me, and I just about defend round the outside. And we go round the first corner to stay in P3 in this race. So just about defending to Perez there into the first corner. Very close racing from the two of us there. Very good that it was kept clean, unlike some instances between the two Force India teammates. So thank you to Perez for that one. And now on the end of lap 16, Perez is right up behind me and Raikkonen is behind him. And we have just overtaken Bottas in the pits. What? P2 in the race. So that puts Perez on the podium behind me. And this is just such a good race at the moment. I really need to hold on to this position. Perez has dropped back a little bit on that straight side. He must have been defending to Raikkonen. Hopefully Raikkonen might be able to hold him up a bit while they battle each other, and I can get away from them a little bit in these latter stages of the race. But now we are on the back straight with Perez coming right up behind me here as we go on to the pit straight to start the final lap of this race. And Perez is still right behind me. He's going to have DRS. He's going to try and go to the inside like he did earlier in the race, but he can't quite get a move done. I'm going to squeeze him there. We sort of catch each other a bit. He's right up behind me with Raikkonen right up behind him. It's so close on this final lap, but I only have one more lap to defend. I don't know how to put it down into lead mix in this first sector like I have been doing a few laps to have rich mix for the straights, because otherwise I probably would have run out of fuel at some point. But I just need to defend this one last lap, and then I can have P2 in this race behind Hamilton. So we'll see what Perez and Raikkonen do behind us. If Raikkonen can hold Perez up a bit, well, with Perez having to defend to Raikkonen, or if they're just both going to attack the person in front of them, meaning that Perez will probably try and attack at me. So let's see what happens into the hairpin. I'm going to defend the racing line and then move to the inside to take the racing line around the hairpin and exiting. Now we are in rich mix for this final straight to the final chicane. Hamilton has won the race, you can see up there. I'm in P2. Can I defend to Perez? It looks like there's a bit of a gap behind us into the final chicane as I get a pretty decent line through slightly on the curb. Perez is right behind me there. You can see he's going to try and attack, but we have crossed the line. P2, that was so difficult in the later stages of the race. From about P10 onwards, that was such a difficult race. But I did it. P2, such an amazing result in the Haas as well, here in Canada.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hound on the wheel, of course.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table.
So as you might be able to tell, that was quite an interesting race there. You see the podium, Raikkonen 4th, Ocon 5th, he did quite well, Bottas 6th, Verstappen 7th, Magnussen 8th, my teammate, so he also got points, Ricciardo 9th, Massa 10th, Kvyat 11th, Hülkenberg 12th, Stroll 13th, down there, so they all did quite well. And it doesn't sound like I got driver of the day. I've moved up to 5th in the Drivers' Championship, while my teammate has moved up into 14th. So quite good for them. Vettel is leading with Raikkonen 2nd, Bottas 3rd. Was that? Hamilton 3rd? Anyway, Ferrari are leading the Constructors. We have moved ahead of Williams in the Constructors, so that's good to see after I got a lot of points with that P2 finish there. And we have some more resource points, so hopefully we'll be able to make some upgrades in the next episode. And now more career score here, and there we go. Oh, we have a classic event. So we have a classic event available to us. Oh, checkpoint challenge and a race at Bahrain Short. Well, I did checkpoint challenge last time with the 98 McLaren, so let's do this one with Nigel Mansell's championship winning 1992 Williams here at the Bahrain Short Circuit. I'm not going to show the whole race, just the start and then the end. The aim of this is to finish highest in our class. I believe we are the C2 class, or C1, I can't really remember now, I can't quite see. The resolution is low on this preview window, but you can see in the top left the class that we are. We're surrounded by cars that are the same class, and we really have to avoid some cars. They're going quite slowly. Illegal overtake, although that has gone now after I relinquished the position obviously, and then overtook people going right onto the Bahrain Short layout, which goes onto the straight here, one of the two DRS straights on the normal circuit. So you basically cut out sector 1, and here we go at the end of the race, P9, and we have finished top of our class, it seems. Yeah, so I got first in class. Very nice to see in this 1992 Williams, probably one of the oldest in the class, but I did quite well against the AI there. There you can see my career invitational score, so that has gone up obviously. That race was really fun in the Classic Williams. I will upload that to my Pinder Clips channel, raw footage, so you can see that if you want to. But anyway, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to see more F1 2017 videos. Next time we will be here in Baku for the race, so I'll see you then. Bye.